everybody. Happy Sunday. Thanks for joining me tonight for gentle yoga. And I always like to keep it real. So this little mess right here, I just spilled water all over my mat before we started, so just ignore that. Anyway, I hope everyone's doing well. Tonight I'd like to focus on gratitude. Just within the last few weeks, I've kind of had this shift in feelings about being grateful for certain things that I didn't even realize that were missing. So if you have a couple blankets, grab them. Maybe a bed pillow would be good. And we're going to be seated pretty much the whole time, seated or lying down the whole time tonight. After the class tonight, I just really want you to feel like you're completely relaxed, ready to just crawl off into bed when we get done. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So let's start out lying down on your mat. If you'd like to grab your pillow, and you can place that either underneath of your head, or if you want to bring your legs over top. And then place a blanket either underneath of your hips, or if you have two blankets, maybe one underneath of your hips and one to the back of your mat for your head. And then let yourself just curl back down against the floor. Maybe bringing your hands, your arms to rest by your sides with the palms facing up. And just make any adjustments here so that you can find complete comfort. Maybe turning your palms to face up. Letting your heels gently rest onto the mat. And opening your toes and feet to the sides. And if you're using that pillow underneath of your knees, just letting your knees and the backs of your legs completely sink down into that pillow. Maybe turning your palms to face up. And then gently bringing your eyes to close. And just giving yourself this time for yourself, knowing that you have nowhere else to be. And taking in a deep breath through the nose. And exhaling out through the nose. So this time as you inhale, take a moment to notice how your breath feels, the temperature of your breath. And as you exhale out, notice the warmth of your breath on your upper lip as that breath leaves your nose. And just continuing to notice your breath, the sound and the feeling and the temperature. Letting your belly puff up as you take that breath in. And then feeling your belly relax and soften back down. I believe that no matter what our circumstances are, we can all show gratitude for something. Gratitude that you are here today, doing something for yourself, and gratitude that we are able to live life and experience each new day. The last 2 weeks have really made me stop and think about the things that are important in my life. Before the last 2 weeks, my family was rushing around, each going in different directions, off to work, school, on their phones, with their friends. It was crazy chaos. We hardly ever even ate dinner together anymore. Everything changed a few weeks ago, and we became stuck in our houses. I shouldn't say stuck, I should say safe. Safe in our houses with nowhere to go and no end in sight. As the weeks went on, I began to think about what I was grateful for. I began to count my blessings. I was home. I was safe. My family was safe. I'm getting to spend more time with my son and have even gotten him to participate in my restorative yoga class. I've gotten to spend time doing things that I had let slide. My own workouts, reading, and having extra time in my day to sit quietly and reflect. Even through times of darkness, we can pause and reflect on the good that still exists. Things we didn't even realize we were missing because we were always on the go. Think for a moment of something that you've realized you're grateful for in the last few weeks. Keep visualizing what you've been grateful for. Breathe it in and feel the energy flowing through your body, filling you with gratitude. Go to bed tonight with a grateful heart. Take about 2 more deep breaths here. Continuing to picture that gratitude and feeling the energy flowing through your body. And then slowly start by just wiggling your toes. And then start to gently move your ankles, maybe taking your feet just side to side. And then start to wiggle your fingers. And then just gently lift the backs of your hands up off of the floor and roll your wrists around a few times. Just take your time here. We're just waking back up, waking the body back up. And then reverse your circles with the wrists. Bring your hands back down to the floor. And now gently move your head side to side. Just stretching out through the neck. And then bring your head back to center, back to stillness. Bend your knees and bring the soles of your feet to the floor. So if you have a pillow here underneath of your knees, go ahead and slide that out or lift it out and set it off to the side. And extend your legs back down towards the end of your mat. So first we're going to start with a lying tree pose. Take your right leg and you're just gonna bend that knee out to the side as you slide that foot up to your thigh, maybe to your thigh, maybe to your calf. Now take the left toes, rotate your thigh in towards that right foot, and the toes point up towards the sky. Let your arms just rest by your sides. Keep that left foot flexed if you can. And feel the opening there on the right side of the hip. Settle into that stretch. Release any tension from your face. Take one more breath here. Breathing in, taking in the biggest breath you've taken all day. And then exhaling that breath out completely. Draw that right knee up to center. So if you want to take your hand to your thigh, just lift that knee up so the sole of your foot comes down to the floor. And then extend that leg to the top of your mat, to the bottom of your mat. And then let's get the other side. So bending the left knee, draw the left foot in, maybe to your thigh, maybe to the calf. Just watch your lower back here. If this bothers your lower back, take that leg a little bit lower down to your calf. And then rotate your right leg so that your inner thigh is pressing on that foot. Flex your toes, flex your ankles of that right foot. And the toes draw back towards that shin. Maybe your eyes are closed or just a soft gaze. Just looking up. Feel the stretch on that left hip. And soften through your belly. Take one more breath. And this time the left leg is going to stay where it is. We're going to bend that right knee and bring both of the feet together. So bound ankle pose, Baddha Konasana. Press the bottoms of your feet together. Knees open to the sides, and if you want to take your hands here, just to your inner thighs, just to guide your thighs down towards the floor. So if you're feeling this in your back, then go ahead and walk your feet away from your body. That's a little bit easier on the lower back. Keep pressing your feet together, feeling the stretch on the inner thighs this time. And then just bring your hands down by your sides, palms up or down, whatever feels best. Keep the soles of your feet together. And we're going to lift the knees up, but only go as far as to keep your feet together. And then gently let your knees lower back down to the floor. Take a breath in. And then exhale, lift the knees up. And inhale, lower down. Exhale, lift. And inhale, lower. Couple more here. Exhale, press your feet together. Lift your knees up. And inhale, lower back down. One more time. Lift back up. Press your toes, the balls of your feet And then let your knees gently open back down to the floor. So extend your right arm up. You're going to take that behind your head. And we're going to roll onto that right side. So stacking one knee on top of the other. Bring your head to rest on that bottom arm. Reach your other arm down as long as you can past your hip. And then take an inhale, sweep that arm up overhead and bring it down to rest on your other arm. So maybe your palms are joining here, maybe not, it doesn't matter. Just feel the stretch on your side body here. Notice the space that we're creating on that left side. Keep reaching through your fingers. And then lift that top arm back up and bring it to the inside of that top thigh. So inside of the left thigh. And then we're going to open that leg up. So knee points up towards the sky. And try not to roll back through the hips. And then flex that foot. So if this is too much for you to hold here, you can always bring that top arm down and rest it in front of your ribs for support. Now point your toes. And then flex the foot again. And then release your arm down. Bring that top leg down on top of the bottom leg. And let's roll back onto our backs again. So back to bound angle pose. So you might have to shift your hips a little bit here to get back into the bound angle. Keep pressing your feet together. Maybe seeing if you can move your heels up towards your body a little bit more. And then take an inhale as you sweep the left arm up and behind your head. So reach through your fingers, let that shoulder blade press down into the floor. And then let's roll to that left side. So stacking one knee on top of the other. Letting your head rest on that bottom arm, but reach that arm as long as you can. And then reach down with your right arm past your hip. And then take an inhale, separate your fingers really wide as you take the arm over your head. And bring it down to rest on that other arm. So again, feeling that stretch on the right side. Making that space through the side body. Relax your neck and your jaw. And then take that top arm back up overhead, back down, and bringing it to the inside of that top thigh. Open up that knee. And then flex that foot. So just notice the change here. Noticing if you have a change between one side and the other. One side might be a little bit easier or a little bit harder. And then point your toes. And then flex the foot again. So really push that heel away. Draw your toes back. And then let that top arm just come down to rest on the floor. And bring that right knee down, restacking the knees. Take one more breath in this lying down position. that top hand to lift you up. And let's come into seated. So if you'd like to use a blanket here to sit on, that always makes it a little bit more comfy. If you have a blanket underneath of your head, or had one, go ahead and move that off to the side. So starting out in whatever, in a comfortable seated position, let's take the hands by our sides. Take an inhale, lift up. So reach up through the crown of your head, reach your arms long, and exhale that whole way down. Again, inhale, lift up, feel your ribs rising up away from your waist. And exhale the whole way down. Now bring your arms in front of your knees. So your palms are facing you right now. They're facing towards your shins. We're going to inhale, lift the arms up in front. So the palms are facing away, and exhale, this is kind of like a swoop move, come down into a forward fold. Inhale, lift right back up, lengthening back through the spine, and then exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift up, reach through your fingertips, and exhale, fold forward. Now let yourself just hold here in this forward fold. Take a moment to check in with yourself, feeling that gratitude again for being able to practice tonight. Keep your right arm where it is, and then let's take an inhale. Lift the left arm up, and you're going to turn to look up if you can. Open up that left shoulder. And then exhale, bring that left hand down. Inhale, other side this time, right arm goes up. So focus on your waist on this one. Turning your bottom ribs up toward the top ribs. And then exhale, lower back down. Let's do one more each side. Inhale, lift the left arm up. So anchor down through your sits bones. And if your range of motion here is small, don't worry about it. We're all different. Exhale, lower down. So one more time, big inhale, sweep that right arm up and open up that shoulder. Twisting through the ribs. And exhale, bring that hand back down. Now see if you can walk your hands out a little bit more away from your body, but use your palms to press back into your sits bones. Rock your head side to side. Let your shoulders draw down away from your ears. Breathe into the back of your body. Feeling the back of your body rising up as you inhale. And then exhale out, letting your whole body soften. And then let's walk the hands towards your shins as we lift back up, reaching back up through the spine. So we're going to turn to look out over the left shoulder. So turn your head, look out over that left shoulder. Now pretend I'm there, drawing your shoulders down. Let your shoulders melt down your back. And then you're going to start to drop your chin towards your chest, come through center, and look out over the right shoulder. And then turn your head just right back to the center. So let's start in the other direction. Turn your head to look out over the right shoulder. Bring your chin down to your chest as you slide your head over to the left side. Lift up and look out over that shoulder. And then just turn your head back to center. So let's do one more time each side. This is a really good stretch for the sides of the neck and the back of the neck. Turn to look out over the left shoulder. And I say look out, but if you want to keep your eyes closed, feel free to keep your eyes closed. Just listen to my voice. And then tilt your chin down to your chest as you slide your head over towards the right shoulder. And just turning your head, whether you're looking or not, just turning your head towards that shoulder. And then just drawing your chin back to center. Let's do one more time. So this time we turn the head to the right. Lower your chin to the chest. Slide over, turning your head to the left. And bring your head back to center. Bring your hands to your knees or right below your knees. Let's take a few rounds of cat-cow. So we inhale, lift the ribs up, chest up, and then exhale, chin to chest. And this is like a little fold in here, wrapping your shoulders towards the front of your body. Inhale, lift up tall. And exhale, fold in. Pull the belly button back to the spine. Inhale, lift back up. And exhale, fold back in. And then lift the head back up, just coming to that comfortable seat. And let's bring the soles of the feet together. So we're back in that bound angle pose. If you have socks on like I do, you might want to take them off for a minute here. We're going to massage our own feet. So bring your feet together and just use your hands here. I like to start by my heels and just start to rub down towards your toes. Just kind of take your time, even massaging your toes. And then just working your way back down. Just go at your own pace. Maybe taking just one more round here. And then let's take our hands to the outsides of our knees. Draw your legs up to center and then extend your legs out wide. So I'm going to grab onto my pillow here if you want to grab onto your pillow. And just place it up against your back. It's a little bit of support, especially if you have trouble with a forward fold, which I do. I'm very tight in the hamstrings. So with the pillow there, that's your support. Maybe you won't feel like you're going to fall backwards. Just bring your hands to rest down, maybe on your legs or maybe just in front of you, and flex your feet. So press the back of your legs down to the floor. Press your heel down to the floor, heels. And then then point your toes. And then flex your foot. So just go at your own pace here, just back and forth between the flexing and the pointing. So we're lengthening out through the front of the leg with the point. And then the back of the leg with that flex. to stillness. Take your hands to the outsides of your legs and draw them into center. Let's inhale, lift up tall, and then exhale, fold forward, wherever you can reach here. And then start to lift back up and bring your legs back into a cross-legged position. So we're gonna do a mudra right now in the middle of the class. Mudra is a really good way to seal in your practice. This is a lotus mudra. So you're gonna bring the base of your hands together, bring your thumbs together, and your pinkies together. Now the rest of your fingers are going to open up. So this is flower shape, opening up. And then bring it to rest by your heart. Sit up tall. Let your eyes gently close, keeping your fingers separated except for the pinky and the thumb. And keeping those fingertips pressed together. Lotus flowers grow in the mud. There is a saying, no mud, no lotus. The lotus emerges above the dark, muddy waters as a symbol of purity, beauty, spirituality, and light. Even through hardships, we can still find joy, light, and strength. Imagine the bud of a lotus flower in your heart. Every time you inhale, the flower opens a bit more until it finally is completely open and can absorb the full sunlight into itself. Take a breath in here again, breathing in the light, breathing in your gratitude. Now lift your hands up towards the sky. Keep that lotus shape, but we're just lifting it up as an offering of light, beauty, and gratitude. Take a deep breath in and exhale out slowly and completely. Let your arms release down by your sides. If your eyes are closed, go ahead and open your eyes. Set your pillow, if you were using one, off to the side, and let's come into table pose. So feel free to leave your blanket here for your knees if you'd like. And press the tops of your feet down into the mat. Separate your fingers wide and look down. See if you can straighten out your fingers. Really press into that first finger and the thumb. And we're just going to slide side to side. So press the tops of your feet down. Doesn't matter which way you go. I'm going over to the right first, just taking my hips over and then taking them back to the left. So first here with this move, I want you to notice your fingers pressing down into the mat as you slide side to side. And then notice your arms. Arms are strong here. Maybe if you have a little bend to your elbows, see if you can straighten them out. And keep pushing that mat away. And then notice your shoulders drawing down away from your head. noticing your belly, pulling up and in. The gentle stretch of your hips as you move side to side. Your shin bones pressing down onto the earth. And then the tops of your feet pressing down. Bring your hips back to center. And we're going to start with some wrist stretches. So take your right hand, turn it, spin it so the fingers point back towards your knees. Now I'm going to curl my toes under. You don't have to do that. Look down, straighten out those right fingers. And then maybe seeing if you can lift the base of your hand up off the mat, drawing your hips back towards your heels. And release into that stretch. One more breath here. And then bring the base of your hand back down to the mat. Spin your fingers to face towards the top of your mat. And let's switch to the other side. So left fingers turn. See if you can straighten out your fingers and then maybe pulling the base of that wrist, the base of the hand back. So feel the stretch here on the forearm and the wrists. And then maybe drawing your hips back towards your heels. One more breath. Bring the base of your hand back down to the mat and spin the fingers towards the top of your mat. So we're back in that table pose. Let's come into a side plank. So pushing the weight down into your right hand. Open up that top hip. So I'm just going to keep my knee down. You're welcome to keep that right knee down. If you'd like a little bit more, you can always lift that leg up and come into a full plank. Lift your arm up towards the sky. So reach through your side, like when we were lying down and we had the arms overhead and we were really stretched out through the side body. Now take your hand, your top arm, towards the top of your mat. We're going to draw a circle here. So first reach towards the top of your mat. And then let that arm come down. And come back up and around. Let's go around 2 more times, but just take that little pause here towards the top of your mat. Just to maybe so you can stretch a little bit more. And then take that arm back down. Lift back up. And one more time, take that little pause here. Reach. And then circle the arm down and back up and hold it here at the top. Reach. And then let's place that left hand back down on the mat. Bring your left knee down and step your right foot forward for a low lunge. So bring your hands down on each side of that ankle and draw that knee back. Maybe a little bit more, sink down through the hips. And then we're gonna lift up. Bring your hands to rest on your thighs and then sink back down if you can into that hip. And then bring your hands back to your heart. We're coming back into that lotus shape. So thumbs together, pinkies together, and the rest of the fingers just open. Now, if you can, without losing your balance, close your eyes for just a minute. If not, just let your gaze be soft. And then press the base of your hands together. As you inhale, lift your arms up. So we're making that offering again of gratitude and light. Lift up. Maybe look up. And then exhale, bring your hands down to the floor. Take that front foot, your right foot, to the back of your mat and press back with that heel. Arms are strong. Rotate your elbows in so your inner elbows are pointing towards the top of the mat. And then bring that right knee down to the mat, and let's come all the way to our belly. So if you have the blanket here, that's fine. We're gonna come right into Sphinx pose. So take your elbows out in front and then bring your hands across to each elbow. And that's gonna kind of tell you where your forearms should be on the mat. So once you have that grip on your elbows, then you're gonna keep the elbows where they are. Bring your forearms down. Press down through your fingers and your palms and your forearms. And then inhale, start to lift your head up. And I always find, I think this one's a little bit easier if you separate your legs. Here, if you have any kind of issue with your lower back, take your legs a little wider. Really press through your hands like you're trying to push your mat into mid or into the wall. Widen through that collarbone so you're drawing your shoulders back. Take one more breath. And then start to bring your head down. Bring your head all the way down to the mat. Bring your hands back to your chest. Walk your legs back in if they were wide. Come up to your knees and let's push back into a child's pose. And just take a moment noticing any changes in your body, in your mind, and just breathe. And then lift yourself back up, coming back into that table pose. And we're going to start with those wrist stretches again. This time I'm going to do both arms, both hands at the same time. If you would prefer to do one at a time, feel free to do that. I know you guys love these. So we're going to turn the fingers back towards your knees. Press down, straighten out your fingers, maybe curl the toes under, and then see if you can lift the base of your hand up. Press your hips back towards your heels. Breathe. And then bring the base of your hands back down. Turn your fingertips towards the top of your mat. Coming into that side plank. Weight comes into the left hand. We spin this right hip up. Keeping the knee down, but there's always the option you can bring that up. Reach your arm up. And then take that arm, reach it overhead towards the top of your mat. Feel the stretch this time on the right side of your body. And then bring that hand down. Inhale, lift back up, reach long, and then take that arm towards the top of your mat. And bring it down one more time here. Just take your time with the circle, and then bring your arm towards the top of your mat. Take that right arm down, and we lift it up. Hold it here at the top. Reach, keep pressing away with that left hand. And then bring that right hand back down to the mat. And bring your right knee down to the mat. And this time we step forward with the left foot. Keep your hands down at first, maybe wiggling your toes back a little bit to slide that knee back. And then lift up, bringing your hands to your thighs. Maybe sinking down a little bit more. And then bring your hands into that lotus shape again at your heart. So pinkies together, thumbs together. Maybe closing your eyes or just keeping that soft gaze. And then lifting, pressing the base of your hands together as you lift your arms up, keeping that lotus shape. Maybe looking up. Take a big breath in. And then exhale, bring your hands down on each side of that front foot. Take that front foot, your left foot to the back of the mat and press down. Bring that left knee down to the mat and let's come onto our bellies again. Coming back into that Sphinx pose, so bring your elbows out in front. Bring your fingers to touch your elbows and then open your forearms up. Press down through your hands, maybe taking your legs wide again, or maybe you want to try it with the legs not as wide this time. Widen through your collarbone. Lift the chest up. And then start to lower your head down to the mat. Bring your hands by your chest. Start to press your upper body up as you come to your knees. And let's press back into a child's pose. Take about 3 breaths. And then start to lift your head up, walk your hands in towards your knees. And bring your knees to the front, so they're going to line up with your hip bones. Now, if this is too uncomfortable, you can come to a cross-legged position. We're going to take eagle arms. So take both arms out in front. Actually move up on my blanket a little bit here. Both arms out in front and bend both elbows. So let's take the right arm underneath of the left. Lift your elbows up, draw your shoulders back, and then move your arms, your hands away from your head. As you take your next breath, lifting your ribs up away from your waist, big inhale, and big exhale. And now we're going to keep the arms like they are, but inhale, lifting up. Lift your hips up off of your heels, come up. And then exhale, start to unwind as you come back down to sit back on your heels. And let's take eagle arm on the other side. So left arm wraps around. Lift your elbows up. Draw the shoulders back. Draw the hands away from your face and feel that stretch across the upper back. Pull your belly in. Inhale ribs lift up. Let your belly rise. And then exhale out. Let's take an inhale, lift the hips up off of the heels again, rise up. And then exhale, unwind your arms as you come back down to sit. And let's curl the toes under. So we're gonna come into toe bends here. Actually, walk your hands out in front like you're coming into table. Then curl your toes under. And then we're gonna push back to sit onto your heels. So take your hands, pull your pinky toes out on each side. And then bring your hands to rest. So feel the stretch here on the bottom of the toes. Lots of times we have, well, most times we have shoes on. And so this might feel really weird. It might be very uncomfortable. We're not used to stretching out the bottom of the feet like this. Come back into table. So we're gonna do 2 more times. Now you don't have to hold it the whole time. You can just come back into table if you need to. Curl the toes under, push back, hips to heels. Take your fingers, pull out the pinky toes on each side, sit up tall. Take a breath. And then come forward, release the tops of your feet down to the mat. One more time, curl the toes under. Slide your hips back, hips to heels. Pull those pinky toes out to the sides. And then release. Bring your hands down to the mat and let's come onto our bellies. So bring your left hand by your chest so that elbow's bent. Extend your right arm out by your side, straight out from your elbow. And coming into starfish. So start to press into the left fingertips. You're going to roll back towards that straight arm. Stack one knee over the other. And press back into that right shoulder. Keep your left hand pressing into the mat. Take another breath. And then start to roll back onto your belly. And let's switch. So right hand comes in by the chest. Extend your left arm out. Press down through both hands and then start to roll back towards that straight arm. Stack one knee on top of the other. Pressing back into that shoulder stretch. Take another breath. Inhale and exhale out. And then gently roll back on to your belly. Bring your forehead or chin down to the mat. Take your arms behind your back, interlace your fingers, and just draw your arms down the back of your body. And then maybe lifting your thumbs up away from your bottom to stretch out those shoulders. And then release. Bring your hands around in front of your forehead or below your forehead so elbows are out to the sides. Rest your forehead down onto the back of your hands. Bend your knees and lift both feet up. Bring your feet towards your bottom. Point your toes. And let's bring them in for 3. 3, 2, 1. And then bring your legs back down to the mat. Bend and lift for 3, 2, 1. Extend out. One more time. 3, 2, 1. And extend long. Now if you can, you're going to bring the soles of your feet together in that Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. And then lift your feet up towards your bottom with the soles of your feet together. And then release your legs, extend your legs back out long. And let's roll over onto our belly, onto our back. Draw your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. And then wrap your hands around that right shin. Extend your left leg long. Flex both feet. Let your shoulder blades come down to the mat. And then if you can, you're going to lift that left leg up, all the way up towards the sky. Draw that right knee in, maybe a little bit closer to your chest. And then bend that left knee, bring that foot down to the floor, and let's switch. So bringing the left knee in, extending the right leg long. Flex both feet. Draw that knee in. And then maybe lifting that right leg up. Flexing that foot. And then bend that knee. Bring that foot down to the mat. Bring the left foot to the mat. Extend your arms out by your sides, and let's take one final twist. Walk your thighs together, and then lower your legs to the left. Turn your head to the right. Soften the belly. Take a big breath. And then draw that bottom thigh up to meet the top thigh. So legs are together as you come back up to center. And then lower to the right, turning to look to the left, or maybe just turning your head, keeping your eyes closed. And then draw your knees back up to center. Separate your feet to the edges of the mat, and let's just windshield wiper. Drop one knee down, and then the other. Just take your time, like you're moving in slow motion. We're keeping it gentle. And then bring your legs back to stillness, and let's find Shavasana. So if you need to grab onto your socks, if you'd like to use that pillow again for your head or underneath of your knees, or maybe even under your hips, use one of your blankets maybe to cover up. Maybe if you're using your blanket to cover, just wrapping it around your feet, kind of tucking yourself in. Tucking your blanket maybe in on the sides. And then letting your arms come to rest, maybe the palms up. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, letting your whole body soften. Gratitude turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos into order, confusion into clarity. It makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. Start by gently bringing some movement back to your toes. Maybe just separating your toes or wiggling. Maybe open your feet out to the sides and back in. And start to bring some movement back to your hands. Wiggling your fingers. And then drawing your knees in towards your chest. Rolling off to one side. And lifting up, coming up to seated. Let's bring our hands to heart center. Bow your forehead down towards your fingertips. I want to thank all of you for joining me again tonight. I'm very grateful for all of you. Have a safe and restful night. Namaste.